A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant diplomatic exchange, Russia has urged caution regarding nuclear rhetoric, reacting to U.S. President Donald Trump's recent announcement about repositioning American nuclear submarines. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov addressed reporters on Monday, emphasizing the importance of careful language in discussions involving nuclear capabilities. This response marks the Kremlin's first public comment on Trump's remarks made last Friday, where he stated that he had ordered 2 nuclear submarines to be moved to the appropriate regions in light of comments made by former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev about the potential for war between the 2 nuclear-armed nations. Peskov downplayed the significance of Trump's announcement, asserting that American submarines are already on combat duty and that this repositioning is part of an ongoing process. He reiterated that Russia does not wish to engage in a public dispute with the U.S. president. Of course, we believe that everyone should be very careful with nuclear rhetoric, Peskov stated, highlighting the sensitive nature of discussions surrounding nuclear arms. The backdrop to this exchange is a precarious period in U.S.-Russia relations, with Trump threatening to impose new sanctions on Russia and its oil buyers, including major economies like India and China, unless Russian President Vladimir Putin agrees to halt the ongoing conflict in Ukraine by the end of the week. Trump's push for a ceasefire comes amidst reports of intensified Russian bombing campaigns in Ukraine and stalled peace talks that have yielded little progress beyond prisoner exchanges. In light of the rising tensions, Trump has indicated he may send his envoy, Steve Witkoff, to Russia later this week. Witkoff has previously engaged in discussions with Putin, but has not succeeded in persuading him to agree to a ceasefire. The Kremlin has not confirmed whether Witkoff's visit was initiated at their request, but Peskov expressed a willingness to meet with him, describing their past interactions as important, meaningful, and very useful. While Trump has previously expressed admiration for Putin, his recent frustrations with the Russian leader have surfaced, particularly as the conflict in Ukraine continues unabated. Analysts from both Russia and the West have criticized Trump for escalating a verbal exchange with Medvedev, a figure known for his provocative statements, to the level of discussing nuclear deployments publicly. Peskov, however, maintained that Russia views Trump's statements as not indicative of an escalation in nuclear tensions, insisting that the issues at hand are complex and sensitive, often eliciting strong emotional reactions. As the deadline for potential sanctions approaches, the international community watches closely to see how this situation unfolds. The Kremlin has refrained from commenting on whether they have attempted to moderate Medvedev's statements, emphasizing the independent viewpoints within their leadership. In every country, members of the leadership have different points of view on events that are taking place, different attitudes, Peskov noted, underscoring the complexity of diplomatic communications in times of crisis. This latest episode highlights the fragility of U.S.-Russia relations and the potential consequences of nuclear rhetoric in a time when both nations are navigating a delicate geopolitical landscape. As the situation develops, the call for restraint in language and action remains paramount, with both sides recognizing the high stakes involved in their ongoing dialogue. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.